bank robbery. He got caught, basically while committing a burglary in 1860, and after that he was sentenced to Alcatraz for 14 years. The England brothers, maybe not quite as smart as John Morris, but they do know a thing or two about escaping from prison. They spent a lot of time in jails in Alabama, Florida, and Georgia for burglary, and they attempted many escapes before they actually wound up landing themselves in Alcatraz in 1858. Even West attempted to escape from a state prison while serving time for car theft. So those are our main characters here. Here was their plan. According to the FBI, Morris and the Englands and West took a whole year to plan this escape. They started by gathering tools and making things they needed from whatever they could find. They even made tools out of tools. They basically MacGyvered their way through the whole operation. For instance, they made drills, like homemade drills, from the motor of a broken vacuum cleaner. They did this to loosen the air vents in their cells by drilling a series of holes around the cover. This was painstaking work, so not only did they have to drill enough holes to break through the wall, but they had to do it quietly, or quietly enough so they didn't get caught. And then they would cover that with whatever they had around the cell during the day so that the guards wouldn't notice it. And then once they broke through, they actually found a corridor behind it that they could crawl through, and they went through this corridor to set up a workshop on the roof of the cell block. And they just kind of created this makeshift workshop where they built all the things they needed to get off the island. For months, the four of them would take turns sneaking into the hidden workshop while one worked as a lookout using a homemade periscope. I mean, these guys thought of everything. They built their own periscope to keep an eye out while they were building rafts and other things. Like, why couldn't they just build a second Alcatraz and just, confuse the guards by having a second Alcatraz? Why didn't they just do that? So they made a raft and life preservers in this little makeshift workshop, and it was pretty ingenious how they put this together. They gathered up more than 50 raincoats and fastened them together to make a 2x4 meter rubber raft and life preservers. Morris got the idea from this actually from articles that he read in magazines like Popular Mechanics. Actually, he got a lot of escape ideas from magazines. He figured out how to make resin from another Popular Mechanics article and how to make your own lampshade. He learned how to use channel buoys to indicate course and navigate hazards from a 1962 issue of Sports Illustrated. Morris really should have had his own Read poster that you used to see up in libraries in the 80s and 90s. Escape through reading. And they stitched the raincoats together by hand with a kind of a fluid plastic that they swiped from a prison workshop, and they vulcanized the whole thing. They vulcanized a raft together with hot steam pipes. And to inflate the raft, they actually used a modified accordion that they stole from the music hall. And on top of all that, they made oars from plywood and screws. So after years of planning and months of building all of the things that they needed, on the evening of June 11, 1962, they finally put their plan into effect. Alan West wound up staying behind. What he said was that he couldn't get the grill out in his cell, and he couldn't get through the thing. Some people think that maybe he chickened out, but that was his story, was that he was gonna...
Oh my gosh, no way. Yo, final level. Yay.